Hello, welcome to The Kitchen Chemist. I'm your boy, amateur pro home chef Nathanael Levinson. Today, I'm sorry vegetarians, but we're talking about bacon. So what ingredients will you need? You're gonna need bacon. So before we start actually cooking the bacon, you might be like, oh, Nathanael, you just cook bacon and then you eat it. Well, you're wrong. Got a couple of cuts of bacon, and let's talk about it. First of all, no hate to Canada. I love you guys. Poutine, maple syrup, you got it going on. Canadian bacon is just ham, so we're not gonna talk about that today. And then beyond that, you kind of got two options when we're talking about bacon. You have cured and you have uncured. You can also have smoked and unsmoked, but most bacon is smoked to provide flavor. But when we talk about curing is where they cover it with salt and nitrates, specifically nitrites, to maintain color and freshness. So a lot of times you can buy uncured bacon. I don't know that it tastes any different. I haven't noticed any difference in the taste, but if you have like a health concern where you don't want to eat a lot of nitrites or nitrates, if you're thinking about that, look for uncured bacon. And you also want to think about what cut of bacon I'm doing. Now, bacon, except for Canadian bacon, because not really bacon, bacon comes from the belly of the pig, so it's a very fatty cut, and you'll see, right? You'll see it has like a little bit of meat and a whole lot of fat. That's the good stuff. You can also get it thick cut like this is, and you can get thin cut like this is. And everyone has preferences on what, how do they want their bacon cooked, right? My preference is I want it crunchy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That's why I prefer the thick cut bacon. With thin cut bacon, you're pretty much stuck with only one option, right? So with that in mind, let's go ahead and fry up some of this bacon. You can do this in the oven, you can do this in a pan, you can do this on a griddle. Let's just fry up some bacon and see how it tastes. We're gonna do this on a pan over medium-high heat. We'll just drop this bacon right in there. And it will shrink up a lot as it cooks. You wanna lay it out as flat as you can. And what the heck, for you, Canada, all right, so this bacon's looking about my level of doneness, so we're gonna pull it off, put it on paper towels to get rid of some of that grease. Don't throw away this bacon grease, we can do great things with it. So we've cooked our bacon, and you'll notice when we did it in the pan that the bacon likes to kind of curl up and bend over. Just as the proteins shrink as you cook them, it kind of contorts. And you'll notice that it's kind of more cooked in the middle and a little floppy on the ends. So cooking it in the pan is not the best way to cook it because you get kind of the shrinkage and curling up. And if you're in a diner and you watch them cook bacon, they'll take like a big iron and smack it on the bacon so the bacon doesn't curl up, cooks evenly on both sides. You probably don't have a big cooking iron just sitting around your house, I'm assuming. So the thin cut one, it's chewy on the edges and it's crispy in the middle. So it does give you both textures. It's not a bad thing. It's a little bit dry, especially in the middle. Not burnt at all though. So the thick cut bacon, I think usually holds up to a little longer cooking, a little slower cooking, a little bit better. Much chewier, much juicier. But it's still got the crispy bits on the outside. So I always recommend you go with thick cut bacon. You get both the crunchy and the chewy, and that's what you want. Canadian bacon. It's ham. Cooking bacon in the oven is the better way to do it. You have more even heat distribution, generally, and you cook it at like a lower temperature over a longer period of time. You can kind of get exactly that doneness you want all throughout the bacon. And you can also create one of the best breakfast / anytime snacks that's ever been created. So we're gonna do that. So first we wanna do is preheat our oven to 375, and then we're gonna cover our baking sheets with parchment paper. What happens is if you do like this, the bacon kind of fries in its own grease, which I like. All right, so we're just gonna pop that in the oven for about 8 minutes, but we'll be checking on it. This is where the fun begins. So take your bacon, lay it out, get yourself some brown sugar, and just sprinkle a liberal handful over your bacon. I'm not gonna tell you how much, just enough to coat the bacon. Then you're gonna wanna get in there and just kinda rub it in so that every bit of bacon is covered. Then you need to flip them over and do the other side. Apply liberally. Now, as this cooks in the oven, the brown sugar will caramelize and give you candied bacon. We're not done. We're gonna take it to the next level. And this is gonna sound insane, but I promise you, this is where it's at. We're gonna make candy curried bacon. So I'm taking this curry powder. You can use any curry powder you want, as long as it tastes good to you. Garam masala is a good one because that has a lot of spices that are found in sweets. But I have just a Madras curry that I bought at the store. Douse some of your bacon in that. Now you might be sitting here thinking, why did he just put curry on his sweet bacon candy snack? Well, curry is just a spice blend, and spices and sweet things actually go really well together. There's no garlic powder in here, so that won't clash. Garlic is like the one thing that kind of doesn't work well with sweet things. So we are going to pop this in the 375-degree oven for about 10 minutes. This is one you want to check on, starting at 8 minutes, check on every couple minutes. Because if this burns, it's gonna get real nasty. So this is our oven-cooked normal bacon. So you can see it's perfectly evenly browned, crispy, but still got a little bend to it. Way more evenly cooked than the pan-fried one. Even though it's thin cut, still crunchy and chewy. Our candy curried bacon, you can see it's glossy. It's got a glossy exterior because of that candy coating on it. It's still a little bendy, but tear it open, it's perfectly cooked. Bite into it, crunchy, chewy, sweet and salty. The darker the brown sugar, in my opinion, the better it is. This is bacon candy. And finally, we have the candy bacon with the curry powder. You can see it's still glossy, but it's got some texturing to it. That's because the curry powder doesn't really dissolve and caramelize the way the sugar does. But same kind of cook on it. It's the next level. Sweet, salty, chewy, crunchy, spicy. This is a treat. Now, normally you would drain bacon on a paper towel. With these, because it's got almost like caramel coating on it, don't do that. Just drain it in the air and then put it on a plate. So that'll do it for our bacon episode. There's a lot more to explore with bacon, but one thing at a time. What is there to say about bacon? Bacon is the best. Until next time, I'm your boy, amateur pro home chef Nathanael Levinson. Bacon is better.